everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are here to discuss some Detroit Lions rumors that we have gotten recently. Also, we're going to just touch on today's game against the Minnesota Vikings to wrap up the 2020-21. Hey, I said that right. NFL season for the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, it didn't end on the best note. Plus, the draft order. Let's get it started.
I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, guys don't know, DoseOfDion, he put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, we got some rumors to talk about. Now, we will talk about these more into detail during the week, but I do want to keep you guys updated with rumors that will be out there because there's going to be a lot of them. It's going to start to get crazy now that the offseason has officially hit for the Lions. Yes, I know the playoffs are going on, but there's going to be a lot of rumors coming from everywhere. So I just want to keep you guys updated. That is my goal, to keep you guys in the know of what is happening. But we will take a look into more detail as the week starts. Since it's only Sunday, I don't want to go too far into detail with this, but I do want to keep you guys updated with some of the rumors that are out there. Now, before we get into the rumors, I do want to touch on today's game against the Minnesota Vikings while it's still sort of fresh in my mind. So the Lions lost today 35-37, finishing 5-11 on the season. Interim head coach finishing 1-4 as the interim head coach. However, Darrell Bevell, he did not coach in one of those games. He actually wasn't there, and that was probably their worst loss, I would say. Yeah, it was probably their worst loss. It was a pretty bad loss to Tampa Bay. But either way, the Lions finished 5-11 on the season. Currently with the draft order, they sit at number 7. But tonight's game will decide whether or not the Lions have an opportunity to move up. So while they did lose, they have not yet gained any ground in that race. And right now, the question is, will Washington win tonight's game? If Philadelphia can somehow beat Washington and put the Giants into the playoffs, they can move the Lions up to the 6th pick in the NFL draft. That's where the Lions sit right now. It's either 6 or 7. That's kind of what we're waiting for the draft order. So by the time you're seeing this, the game could be over. So just take a look at the score. If Philly win, then you're number 6. If Philly lose, you're still at number 7. So I wanted to touch on that order. But for the Lions game specifically, Matthew Stafford went out today and played a pretty darn good game. He was taking a lot of shots, man. Stafford was pushing the ball down the field. Didn't seem to be dealing with really any kind of injuries, or at least he hit it very well, but he's usually pretty good at that. Taking a lot of shots, pushing the ball down the field, and it was just kind of exciting to see that. That's kind of what I was hoping to see for this game. Also, we saw that one little Sanu wildcat play, which was interesting. Not a lot of trick plays, but we did see the wildcat from Mohamed Sanu, which was kind of cool. However, defensively, it didn't get much better. Lions allowed 37 points or 400 yards passing to Kirk Cousins. But to be honest with you, pretty much everybody who's played against has done stuff like that. And honestly, really, in the last couple of weeks, it just went completely awful. I mean, our defense has just gotten, it's went from bad to as bad as it possibly can be. I mean, we are historically now the worst defense in our franchise history, which is not exactly the record we want to be holding, but I guess that tells you where our defense was at. And yeah, I mean, those are the records you're going to get when you play like we do defensively. Today, I felt like there was a lot of missed tackles out there. I didn't think our defense played awful. We got some pressure. We brought maybe some more blitzes, at least from the eye test. However, we weren't able to tackle that well. Our coverage was still very questionable. Yes, we're missing some pieces, but overall, man, defensively, it was just a complete mess. So the question is going to be, how do you fix it? Well, I think it does start at the top. You got to find the right leadership first, and you got to work your way from there. A lot of things can change with leadership. A leadership change, really trickles down through everything, and everything builds from that. So you really need to figure out that part first. Okay, once they figure out that part of the team where it comes from the leadership, things can change just like that, right? A lot of things can possibly change, but we're not really getting into how to fix it in today's video. That's for another time and another date, and when we have more time, I don't want to really get into that. I guess that extra point came back to haunt us a little bit. I mean, he did make a long field goal, but for Matt Prater's job's kind of up in the air. I don't know if he necessarily bought himself a ticket for next year after the missed extra point. Man, he had some close, like the other one was just straight over the top. Also, Marvin, come back, please, Marvin. Hey, Marvin. You're a good receiver. That's a number 1 receiver. I don't want to hear anything about Marvin Jones Jr. is a number 1 wide receiver. So if Kenny can't come back, we can't franchise tag him. I hope we can at least get Marvin back. I hope so. Yeah, I switched to the Stafford shirt because I'm doing this a little bit later. Also, I got to represent the shirt. I mean, I have to. Felt like it was in sort of fitting fashion, Lions versus Rest fashion. Shout out to my man who said he bought the shirt. Definitely 2 not very good calls, but overall the defense didn't play very well today. But the offense was entertaining. I was saying that, and you can see DeAndre Swift is he's just clearly our best running back, man. That guy is extremely, extremely talented. We'll see if we give him a sidekick of this offseason. So that is what I want to touch on today's game, man. What is your thoughts from today's game? It was nice to see, Matthew Stafford go out there and play pretty darn well today and take some shots. I mean, some of the throws that he made, that throw to Mohamed Sanu, even though he dropped it, oh my goodness. And then the one call back on Marvin Jones. Either way, we took a lot of shots, and it was entertaining to say the least. So at least it was entertaining. That's all I was really hoping for. It was a win-win situation for me. If they win, great, they win. If they lose, okay, fine. I mean, you can't hurt your draft pick. We're not going up, it looks like. But, hey, it's kind of a win-win situation. I just wanted it to be entertaining, and that was the case. Even though he gave up 37 points, it was the case. But yeah, that defense was really bad. Yes, in conclusion on this season of this 2020-2021 season for the Detroit Lions that didn't go as planned, I decided to end it off the best way. I think the best way to end it off is with just a little bit of a montage of some of our highlights for the season. So let's get it started. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just playing. No, but seriously, okay. Look, I want to thank everybody for, coming into the streams, watching the live streams, staying here, watching with us. There was some good moments. I mean, the Falcons game obviously comes to mind. Falcons game was one of those things that, you just don't get to see that very often. So that was just an amazing, kind of game to see. And just the final drive. I mean, it's rare to see a final drive end like that. We've had some really good ups. We've had our downs as well. And this season has been kind of insane. Like I said, not the way that we were hoping that this could go or would go, but at this point, we're on to next season. You got to believe that there's no way other than up but here, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And we'll see what happens with Matthew. Of course, I want him to be in Detroit. Of course, I want this guy to be in Detroit. So we'll see what happens with Matthew Stafford. It is hard out, I think, in this game. And they did make it entertaining. So we'll see what happens. We'll take a look at all the rumors and notes. Is anybody going to get fired? I'm expecting to see some fire-ins. If I had to predict, I think Corey Elman will probably be the first guy to go. But you hate to see guys get fired, but I'm just going to say it right now. Like, we'll talk about this stuff during the week, and, the things we're about to talk about with Rob Schneider, things like that. We'll dive into those guys during the week, but this is just a recap in general, and I want to thank you guys for the amazing season, for making it super fun. And even though we lost, we still had a lot of fun along the way. Even in the losses we found a way to have fun. So I want to thank everybody for a great 2020 NFL season, and cheers to 2021. I don't have anything to... Wait, do I have milk? Wait, hold up. I thought I had milk. Oh, I do got milk. Oh, man. Okay, there's a little bit of milk. Get your glass. Get your glass. No, don't just sit there. Get your glass. I see it's right next to you. Pick it up. There you go. What do you got in there? What is that? Orange juice? Okay, ready? Cheers. I'm sorry. Now, let's get into some of these rumors. So the first rumor is this. The Lions are planning to interview head coach candidate Robert Saleh this week. There already has been guys that we've heard the Lions have interviewed. They've interviewed multiple GM candidates. I've heard there's some other head coach candidates that they've either reached out to or that they've already interviewed. Marvin Lewis being a guy that could be in that category. Robert Saleh is a guy they plan to interview this week. Now, the Atlanta Falcons also plan to interview him, I believe, first. I think actually within the next couple of days they plan to do it. So they're probably going to do it first. And then we plan to do that as well via Zoom. But again, I'm all for that. I think you got to interview as many possible candidates as you can and make sure you have a good feel of who all is available and what you're really looking for there. So that's really the big thing for the Lions this year. What are they looking for? Spielman says he has a pretty good feel of what he thinks the Lions are looking for. So we'll see how it goes, but I did want to give you that first rumor. Now, the second rumor is the big one. It's one that came up this morning. It's one that we talked about this morning. We talked about on some streams, but for anybody who missed out, I do want to touch on that. That is with John Schneider. So people are probably asking, okay, what's going on there? That GM for Seattle that apparently the Lions are going to pursue, potentially trying to make a blockbuster move to pull him out of Seattle and bring him over as our GM. Now, the reason it's a blockbuster move is, well, because of that reason. He's a pretty well decorated, a pretty solid, you could say, history that he's had with Seattle in terms of building that team, helping build that team. So it's not usually easy to take a GM out of where they are, especially if they're still under contract. Plus, it's not super easy to do it when he's had success there and the team really doesn't want him gone. I have seen a few articles saying that, hey, it's time to move on. But for the most part, it seems like Seattle fans are pretty content with him staying there. So it would be a pretty tough move to somehow pull him out of Seattle. So what reason, what do the Lions really have? Well, the first rumor that was put out there is that right now in Seattle, he's not getting the final say. That is actually Pete Carroll. They said he's, the kind of guy with all the authority. To me, the GM still makes a lot of moves, but apparently the final say goes through Pete Carroll. So one thing the Lions would offer him would be more power, as in, hey, the final decisions are going to go through you. That's one thing. The next thing is always money, all right? If the Fords are willing up to pull out that checkbook, the family checkbook, I'm just saying, hey, money talks, man. It's just simple as that. Money talks. And anytime you get a pay raise, it's something that you got to look at. It's definitely something to look at for sure. So that's another reason. And the third thing I think they offer him is a new challenge. It's just that simple, right? He's at the highest level right now in terms of GM. If you hired him, he's not getting a promotion. He's not getting a higher level job. He's still a GM. However, this is a new challenge that he could possibly get with the Detroit Lions. And again, if someone can do it, they're going to look really good. I'm just going to say that. But also, I don't know if it's the most appealing place. Now, keep in mind, back in 2018, with all these rumors, apparently the Green Bay Packers were interested in possibly trying to interview Schneider out of Seattle, but they turned that interview down. They said, hey, no, that ain't going to happen. So the thought is, if you would have been gone by now, it would have already happened because there's teams. If it's simply just a power issue, he would have already been gone by now and taken another job because Green Bay was willing to offer them that type of power for the general manager position. But maybe now that it's 2021, maybe he's looking at things differently. However, here's the quote that he put out about the rumors of the Lions potentially trying to pursue and make a blockbuster move at him. People losing their jobs or people moving, people are talking about it on TV shows and everything today. Who's going to get fired and who's going to get hired and all that kind of stuff. And it lends to tons of rumors. We have to remember that this is an entertainment business, obviously, but there's a personal side of it too. So it's a bummer on one side. On the other side, it's been a very fun over the last several weeks now with teams that have openings to be able to talk to about guys on our staff and people that are looking at coaches and people that are looking at our personnel people. Guys that are going to interview for jobs too. So that's exciting. But yeah, that's about that. We're good. So to me, when I hear that, the way he kind of plays it off is that, hey, you know, there's a lot of rumors out there right now. Keep in mind, this is an entertainment business. So there's that side of things. So there's going to be a lot of rumors, a lot of noise, a lot of talk. But, you know, we're good. We love it in Seattle. So maybe in the next couple of weeks or next couple of days, we hear, hey, Lions are really going after him. And maybe, you know, there's different rumors out there. There's different news out there that, okay, now he's drawing some interest or he's interested in going to Detroit for whatever reason. But right now, it just seems simply to me like a rumor. I mean, that's just what I'm taking away. Maybe you take away something different. This quote is on Twitter. So I think when you end it off with "we're good," as in me and my wife are good, like we're good in Seattle, that kind of it kind of tells me you're basically shooting down the whole idea of the Lions heavily pursuing you. But maybe that changes next couple of days, next couple of weeks. We'll get some new news about it. But as of now, it doesn't seem like it's probably going to happen. But I will say this, man. Detroit, it could be a tough sell for some people, but I think it's very tough for a guy like that in Seattle who's at the highest rank right now, who's being very successful, and you know he's doing well there. It's kind of a big risk for his career to jump to Detroit because, yeah, I think he's sitting where he wants to right now. So we'll see who wants to take the job. I think that's going to be a very big factor as well. Is you know, what kind of guys can you get that want to take a job, because it's a two-way deal, man, and you know, each party has to be on the side. So Lions could want him. But does the other guy really want it? Doesn't seem like Schneider is maybe fully on board with that, at least as of now. I read that, it makes me think of, okay, this seems more just like a rumor than anything. And right now, the difficulty is there's a lot of rumors out there. There's just so many rumors out there. And there's rumors about head coach and GM. And if you think about it, there's all these rumors. Some of them have to be wrong because you can't hire everybody. It's important to keep in mind, if you see a rumor in one place, try to see if it comes up in multiple places. If there's multiple places where you'll see that rumor, a lot of talk and things like that, but you guys see how much steam they can grow. There's been a lot of crazy rumors out there recently about contracts being offered, this, that, and the other. But that's what entertainment side of it, okay? You can get people that are lying, that are just saying things. You can get just maybe little things that are blown out of proportion. It's like, well, that's not even what was supposed to be made of that. So we'll see what happens here with Schneider. As of right now, I don't buy it super legitimate yet. But yes, the Lions are planning to have an interview with Robert Saleh. We'll talk about this more during the week. But that's it for today's video. The last game of the season. Fortunately, it ended on a loss. But, hey, we're heading into 2021. Hoping for better things. Off season, let's get it started. The off season is very fun. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.